welcome back to my channel, Do What You Love. My name is Missy, and today I'm going to be doing the long-awaited and requested washi-less flipbook tutorial. So this might take some time, so let's just get right into it. I'm just going to tell you some of the supplies that you're going to need in case you would like to do this along with me. And I'm simply saying that because I noticed that when I watch tutorials that I like to get all the things that you need to do it and do it with the YouTube video, so to speak. So as they're going step by step, I'm doing it step by step, and that's how I get it. So I'm going to try to do the same thing for you guys. So you're going to need some good cardstock paper, any color. I'm doing a Christmas washi-less flipbook, so I'm going with black and red, simply because I figured the two colors will be really easy for you guys to see how I'm doing it. If I use two black pieces of paper or two red pieces of cardstock paper, when I put it together, I feel like it's going to be really hard for you to see how it comes together. So I'm using two contrasting colors, but I think it'll look really cool though. So that's why I'm doing that. You're going to need a cutter or scissors, and you're going to need some type of glue. I use runner glue, tape glue. I don't recommend wet glue simply because it takes forever to dry, and it leaves I don't know how to explain it. It leaves like it makes your paper wet, and you know how like wet paper, it just gets weird. Yeah, I don't recommend using wet glue to put these flip books together. I recommend more like tape kind of glue. And then you're also going to need some decorative cardstock or paper. After you use cardstock for your base, you can use whatever you want to fill on the inside, but that's basically all you're going to need. And whatever you choose to embellish or trim out or whatever, all that stuff is up to you. I'm just going to walk you through the basis of how to make a washi-less flipbook. So the first thing is first is we need to make the basis of the book, which is to get the 4 pieces of paper that are all the same size. I do not measure anything, and I'm going to be the first YouTuber probably in history to admit that. You other YouTubers, you guys are so wonderful, you'll get out your ruler and measure and everything. I'm like, that's too much work. So I do everything with folding. So to make sure that my 2 pieces of red paper and my 2 pieces of black paper are going to be the exact same size, all I do is fold the paper and then I cut it on the crease. And then the pieces of paper are exactly the same. So, I mean, I don't think I need to walk you through step by step on how to fold a piece of paper, but simply just line up the corners. Make sure the corners are corner to corner, hold it, and make sure it folds right on that crease. And then when I open it, see how there's a nice little crease? I just take my pen and I just make a line right in the crease, and I bring it over to my handy dandy paper cutter, and then I'm going to cut it right on that crease, and voila, you will have the exact same size paper, and then there's no problems. Like, they're gonna line up perfect because they're exactly the same, they're exactly the same width, and that is how I get my 4 pieces of paper to do the flip book. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the black piece, and I'll be right back. So now that I have them cut, I'm going to show you how to put this together. It is very simple, it is not hard. So I'm gonna do black, red, just simply so that you guys can see how it works. So if we're going to use the black as our cover, if this is going to be our cover piece, it's going to stay flat. You're not going to fold this in any way. You're not going to do any folding to it because it is our cover piece. So simply all you're going to do, again, I'm just repeating myself, don't fold anything on your first piece, is where you're going to make a hinge. I know I'm moving my paper all around here. I'm trying to get the best angle for you guys. I hope that works. Is you're just going to line them up, and you're just going to give it a little crease. It's always going to go the way that it's going to fold in. Do you see that, guys? It's always going to go the way that it folds in. You're always going to make the crease the way the paper is going to fold in. That's all you're going to do. So this is going to go here, and I'm just going to make my hinge the way that it goes in to fold, just like that. And I'm going to make sure that it's going to lay flat and even, and then I'm just going to push down and crease just like that. Okay, And then all you're going to do is, you don't have to make your hinges this big, but for the video, for the sake of the video, for the tutorial, I'm making my hinges pretty big so that it's very visible for you guys to see. And then all you're going to do is, because that is where the hinge is, and the hinge always goes on the top, you're just going to put your glue right here. That's where you're going to run your glue. Another thing, guys, is I don't recommend that you take, I'm not sure what they're called because I don't own one, but it's the tools that you use. I think they're called like some kind of bone thing, and you would rub it on top to really make that crease. I use oh god, I can't even think what this is. I use a paintbrush for those kinds of things. I run it. I don't recommend that you do this for the flip books because you'll make the crease so, I don't know how to explain it, so firm that it actually is harder for your flip book to open and shut. So I don't recommend that. I recommend that you just kind of just fold it and leave it. Just that's all you need to do. You don't need to make that crease really firm. But anyways, you're just going to take whatever kind of glue, and like I said, I'm going to repeat myself once again, I don't recommend wet glue simply because you're using it on paper, and wet glue just makes paper weird. It's the only way I know how to explain it. But anyways, you're just going to line them up again the way that you had it, and then I think it's going to go. It's hard to do, guys. I'm trying to do it in a way that you guys can really see, and it's like, ah! Okay, let's see which way is better for you guys. I think that's a good angle. Alright, so you're just going to line them up, bring it over right onto where it should go with the crease, and just press your crease down. And then that'll fold. Now I know that the paper's a little longer. We're going to trim all that up. That's just how it goes in the beginning here. You see, I really couldn't see, so now I have a little piece off, but that's okay. I can trim that. No big deal. It's, guys, let me tell you, if you're not a YouTuber, but you watch a lot of YouTuber, tutorials are so hard to do because you're trying to do right angles, so that's really easy for you guys to see, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily easy for us to see. So we're going to go again with the black because it's going to be the other piece. Okay, so again, you're going to do the same thing. So I want my flip book to fold up on itself, so this one will fold onto that one, and then it'll fold over one more time, and then we'll have a fourth piece. Okay, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to take your paper, line it up perfect, give yourself, you know, a pretty big, I don't recommend a huge crease, but give yourself a decent crease to make your hinge, and then just kind of fold it down. Make sure they line up because you don't want anything crooked. Make sure they line up together. And there you go. And then just crease it by folding the paper. And then, let me fix it because that one didn't line up perfect. It's hard to see. There we go, that's better. I want it to be all the same size. I don't want it to be off. And that was not what was happening. Okay, there we go. And then again, run your glue like so. And then you're just going to, maybe it'll work better if I do it this way. Maybe you guys can see better. Yeah, I know I can. And then you're just going to line it up, make sure they're lined up, and then glue it on. And see, that'll fold in on itself and fold in on itself. See how it's working? Now, this is the part that's just a little tricky, okay? Because this is the piece now that's going to fold into this piece, and then you're going to have another piece. Okay, you just want to trim off the end just a little bit because you don't want, now see how they bunch? See how they make like this little hole? It's because this piece of paper is too long. So before you attach the last piece, you're just going to trim this up just a little teeny tiny bit. And all I do to do that is I just bring it over. Whoop, I'm moving the camera. Sorry, guys. I just bring it over. Whoop, it got caught in the thingy. Ooh, come on, guys, work with me. There we go. I just bring it over, and I trim like, not like a half an inch off. Not a ton, just like a half an inch. Just the thing with this, though, is just trying to make sure that it's straight. That's all. Just like a half an inch off. That's all I do. Okay, And then now watch, that'll fold perfectly with no big center in the middle because I took a little off, so now it'll fold. And if you still feel like you just want it to be like you can see the crease where you made your hinge, I don't know if you guys can, I hope it isn't real hard to see, but see, here's my crease that I made for my hinge. I want it just a little bit tiny below that so that when I fold my flip book, it folds nice. See? And then you're going to do the same thing again. You'll have to do it with your next piece of paper as well. But you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to make another hinge. Now the book's getting bigger, so I'm hoping I can get it all in the frame here. Okay. So you're going to do the same exact thing. You always crease it to the way the flip book is going to fold. It's much easier to do it this way. Let me fold that up. It's much easier to do it this way. I hope you guys can see. Okay, so I want it to fold in that way, so I'm going to make my hinge, so to speak, my crease right here, line it up, and fold it forward, just like, oh, that's off. There we go. Okay, and again, if it's off, which it is, this is a little hard to see. When you guys do it yourself, it won't be so difficult because you'll be able to see it better. Okay, but you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to put your tape, your glue, whatever it is that you're using on the outside, and then you're going to, whoop, there we go. Oh, I'm going to have to fold that. Okay, and you're going to line it up. Line up your paper with your hinge and then press down. I hope it made it easier, guys, the red on the black, because if I did all black or all red, I'm telling you, it would be really hard for you guys to see. Now you're going to do the same thing. We're going to have to cut this piece of paper. See, here's the hinge. Do you see the little indents right here of the hinge? Now when I fold the red paper in, see how it covers that? You just want to trim off like a ½ an inch so that it's just behind that, so that your flip book will lay flat. So you're going to do that again, one more time. I do it one more time. That's way too, whoop, I got the black piece still stuck in there. Bring it all the way down here. That's way too much. Okay. I think that's good. And guys, if it's not enough, you just put it back in there again. That's all. No big deal. Let me fold it and see if it lays flat. Nope, I think we need just a little bit more off. Just a little bit more, and we should be a go. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. Now it folds perfect. Okay, guys. And see how it lays flat, nothing's sticking out. This is our cover, this is our back. This is why I did this black and red, so you can see. Now, you have two options with this. If the black is your cover, which that's how I made it, see how the book just folds in on itself? I hope that's making sense. It folds in on itself, and then the cover comes over. What you can do with that extra flap here is you can put Velcro or brad on these two ends, and you can make this a flap like this, so that the flip book actually has to kind of come apart, and then this can become your cover, or you keep the black as your cover, but you'll have to unhook it in the back, or you simply just cut it off. You just cut that piece off, and then your flip book will open normally. It's however you want to do it. If you want to seal your flip book, and like I said, you can use a little piece of Velcro, and then you would open it, and then this can become your cover, because if the red part becomes your cover and you want to use this as like a seal, and put like a brad here or a piece of Velcro, and then you open it, this is how the flip book will open. It'll open the same exact way. So you can do it either way, guys. Either way, no matter what you want to do. Or, like I said, you can cut this piece off, and then your flip book will, this will be cut off, and then your flip book will open this way. So it's however you want to do it. So now you have the basis of your flip book. I know it's really hard. It can't go into the full screen. But that is how it works. That you just basically are making hinges with folding, and you're using the tape. So now we just need to fill in the inside to make it decorative. Of course, you can leave it like this if you like it like this. If you like just the cardstock showing the black, red, you know, it's your flip book. You can do it however you want. I personally like to lay another piece of paper or cardstock on top of your base flip book, if you want to call it that. So the size cardstock that I used was 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to use the same size paper, you know, decorative paper. This is the pad that I'm using. It's called Very Merry by the Paper Studio, which is 8.5 inches by 11. Okay, so this is the decorative paper that I want to use that I just showed you came out of that Very Merry paper pad by Paper Studio. It is the same exact size that I used for the red and the black cardstock paper. So what I want to do is when I lay this paper down, for instance, I'm going to lay this one on the black, I want it to look like this. I hope you guys can see that. I want it to be trimmed out. I want the black just showing around the edges. So to get that look, you're going to do the exact same thing. Let me fold this up real quick, that we did to make our washi-less flip book. We're going to just fold the paper, right, you know, just like we did before. Make sure the corners match. Everything's lined up. We're going to do the exact same thing. Okay, you're going to make your mark, just like I did for the black and the red. You're going to bring your handy dandy cutter over. You're going to cut it, because now this will be the exact same size. Whoop, let me get it lined up here. Lined up. Okay. So these are the exact same size that our original black and red paper were. All I'm going to do is put them double together. I'm going to double them up when I cut them so that, again, they're exactly the same size, exactly the same thing. All I'm going to do is take an inch off the sides, an inch off the sides, and an inch off the top, and then the black or the red will outline this cardstock paper. I will show you. So all I'm going to do is take off an inch, which is right there. Okay, let me move that so you guys can see. Line that up perfect. Okay, take an inch off there. Make sure they stay together. And then the same thing, an inch off this. Let me move that so you guys can see. And then, oh, that went over. An inch off that, line it up. That's why your cutter is great for this, okay? I'm going to save these papers because they make great scraps for other stuff. Alright, and I'm going to bring my flip book back over. I think I'm going to use this on the red pieces. Okay, and then look, when you lay them down, oh, I hope you guys can see this. When you lay them down, they work perfect. You have a nice trim. Now, if you want it to be fatter, for instance, if you want more to show, like, oops, the wrong one, I don't know where the heads, maybe this is them. There's the heads. If you want it more to show, then you would just cut a half an inch off. Like if you wanted more of the red, like you want more of the paper to show and less red, just take a half an inch off. If you even want a very little teeny tiny bit of the red and black to show, take a quarter of an inch off. It's however you want to do it, but I took a I think I have a thicker one. Let me see if I have one. I do. Here we go. Here's a thicker one. So if I lay this, which you're going to take it from crease to crease, that's what it would look like. Okay? So the only thing that I don't care for, it's so hard for you guys to see this one little piece of paper. Okay? The one thing that I don't care for using black, red, is that when you lay this down, you can, like, you guys can see that up here. You can see where one piece of paper was laid on top of the other piece. If you used all black or all red, you won't see any of that. See, like if I lay the red down and just put it like that, see how you would just get like the border of the red around it? You won't see none of that. But I did the black, red for you guys' sake, so I hope it made it easier to see how I creased the paper and things like that. But I don't care for the two different colors of cardstock here, simply because when you lay the other piece of paper on top of it, you can see where the two adjoining hinges came together. So it's all in what you guys like, but this piece of paper, as you can see, is much fatter than this piece of paper. Let me show you. So this one looks like this was a full inch taking off. This was a full inch take off. So it looks like for this one, it looked like maybe a quarter of an inch came off all the way around. So it's however you want to do it, however big you want to make it. But you're going to use your paper. Let me bring it down. You're just going to use your paper to put in the center. Again, you're going to go from hinge to hinge so that when you fold it up, that piece of cardstock is not this. It won't fold if that's sticking out. Do you understand what? I hope that makes sense. I hope you understand. So you have to make sure that your paper is not bigger than your hinges, because if it sticks out further than your hinges, then your flip book is not going to fold up on itself. So just make sure that you take off enough on the sides and glue in your middles, and then you can begin to decorate. So what I think I'm going to do is just take the time to glue in my decorative pieces of cardstock on top of the flip book. Again, I'm going to be using the runner glue. I don't recommend wet glue again, and I'll be back. Okay, lovies, so I have the flip book all filled. I have a whole bunch of scraps here from that same exact kit, that kit that's called Very Merry from the Paper Studio. Ton of scrap paper. Some of it matches, some of it doesn't, but it's all the same kit. And this is how it looks on the inside. So I have all of it covered, as you can see. It's all covered. So what you do, in my case, I have to use my handy dandy cutter because I still cannot cut a straight line. I failed that class. I did not pass that in art class in grade school. I cannot cut a straight line to save my life. So I'm not going to make that mistake twice. I'm going to use my cutter. Here we go. So, hey, make mistakes and you learn, right? Okay, so we are perfectly lined up now. See? Yep, it works. And all you're going to do is to make your pockets is don't put glue on your top. You're just going to put your runner glue on the sides. And everybody has their preferences. If you prefer to use wet glue for this stage, I guess it wouldn't be too bad because you already have your foundation pages laid. I preferably just do not like wet glue with paper crafting this way because it warps the paper, I guess is the best way to put it, in my personal opinion. So you're just going to line them up, back up again. You leave a little bit on the bottom if you prefer, or if not, just like so. And then that makes your pocket so you can slip whatever it is. That didn't show very well because let me use a different piece of paper. And then you can slip whatever it is that you're going to slip into your pocket, just like so, because there is your pocket. So if you guys would be interested to see how this all comes together, the finished product of this odd flip book with the two different colors, just leave me some comments down below and I can do a show and tell how I put this book together. But other than that, I really hope that this flip book tutorial made sense for you guys and that you guys can easily replicate a washi-less flip book. It really is nothing. It's easy peasy, and they are so much fun, and they are great happy mail to share with your friends. So if you guys like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If there's any questions or anything that I missed or anything that didn't make sense, don't hesitate to leave me a question in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. And if this is your first time ever on Do What You Love, welcome. As I said before, my name is Missy. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope that you hit that subscribe button and stick around for lots more crafting and tutorials and Christmas things and just fun stuff. Until the next video, as always, do what you love, guys. Have fun crafting and just being who you are. And I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, mwah, know that I love ya. Bye!